All right, so it is the next day, and yesterday you saw I moved the boat from where it was right over there behind the house. I pulled it up here. This is where the RV sat for the last like 6 months, and you can see it's a little dead. My idea was to bring it and put it like right here, like where all this dirt is. I don't really know. I guess I didn't really think it out too much, but I just kind of wanted to get it up here where it's kind of hidden behind this stuff, so it wasn't just such an eyesore. But the ground is really, like, it doesn't look that sloped until you get something like that in a truck up here. And as you can see, the ground was pretty soft, and I got a whole bunch of ruts in the yard now. I don't really care that much about that. I mean, this will all disappear in like a couple of months. I mean, a lot of it just smashed down. But I had the truck way too close, and you can see right here, I mean, it was like right there, and I actually knocked it up against this at some point, though I somehow don't see any damage. I guess because this thing actually gives a little bit. And yeah, it just didn't work. I probably should have just backed the thing up and put it where the RV was, but I didn't do that. And I get all up here, and you can see I definitely was digging up some. This is probably where most of it is, but I don't know if you can see a little more at that angle how steep it was. And I really just thought the whole truck and trailer was gonna just topple over. And at some point I was like, well, I gotta just go for it, I guess. So I just made a U-turn, got up here where it's pretty level. Got with the way the light's hitting the grass, you can really see all the tracks. So I got it up here and I just unhooked it. And between all of this, and I was watching, I don't know if you guys follow like Hoovie's Garage and the Car Wizard and all that. Car Wizard, you know, he's working on this old boat that's obviously a lot nicer than this, but he ended up getting a second boat because he actually wanted to use the thing, and I'm sure he's going to sell that once his first boat is done. But you know, he's like, it's got a couple things wrong with it, we can take care of it and use it while the other one's being fixed. And I just, between that and the fact that I have to have this thing just sitting up here, I mean, I guess it's not that bad, but just sitting up here where it's like, now it's just going to be, you know, I'm going to have to like mow around it and all that. I think I'm throwing in the towel, and it's not because I don't think that I can fix it. I mean, I know I can work on stuff and I could put the effort into it, but this boat's going to need everything, and I'm going to be spending, you know, because I have a full-time job, you know, like I'll be spending the next probably few years messing with this thing to get it to where I can even, well, you know, maybe a year's worth of me screwing around with it to actually test it out and see if the thing even floats. You know, I don't even know if this thing floats. The guys I bought it from really couldn't tell me anything about it. I'm sorry, the guys I got it from, I didn't pay anything for it. The trailer needs everything. The lights don't even work on it. It needs tires. The jack was messed up. The rollers are all messed up. So there's just a point where you have to just say, you know what, are you really gonna continue with something, or you just cut your losses? Right now I've only got $200 in it. I think what my plan is I'm gonna see if I can trade something for it. You know, I always have people asking me to try to find them an old beater truck, because everybody, once they get a house, they realize they need to have a truck. So I'm gonna try to see if I can put this up on Marketplace and trade for something. We'll see how that goes, but for right now, I'm just gonna call this where it's at right now. I mean, you know, you just have to, like, everybody's like, oh, the engine runs so great. Well, yeah, but guess what? Like, all of the other stuff doesn't really work, as far as I know. You know, all of the electrical stuff like all these trim tabs. There's just stuff that's just broken off that I don't even know what it is, because I don't know much about boats. Like, I mean, you just see this stuff, you know, like this is supposed to be down here, and it's like, yeah, I could go through this thing one by one and get all that, because all that stuff has to work before I can actually try to put it in the water, you know. I'm not close to water. I'm an hour and a half away from basically any place I could use this thing. So I think that I'm gonna just put this thing up. You know, I got it to run. That was kind of cool, just to, you know, do that and see that it does actually have a good engine in it. And we'll just see what the next step is. Because the other thing is, I've got all these other things I'm working on. You know, one of these days I want to actually get this manual swap done on my silver E36, and I just moved this the 98 convertible here over here yesterday. You saw that in the video. And you know, I've got everything I need for the manual swap in there, though of course I'm going to probably upgrade some, you know, the clutch and stuff like that. I've got the 330 CI brakes on this, and I've got the Godspeed coilovers on this. So there's a lot of stuff in this car that I can use to make that one, you know, better. And today's project, so stay tuned for this. This will be the next video that comes out, hopefully. Yeah, actually, let me look at this thing now that it's actually not raining in daylight. I don't see anything. I don't know how. I don't have at least a scratch, but I don't see anything. And also opened the door up, and it was at such an angle that it hit the fence too, but I don't see anything. So I guess I got lucky with that. I hate doing damage to my cars. That's one thing that I really rarely ever hit anything anymore. When I was younger, I would bump curbs and shit all the time, but all right, so got the two new axles, and they're gonna go in here. So we're gonna swap these things out. These are custom made axles. Basically, you've got the spring center measurement and the actual width of the hub face. So from here, the hub face to the other side, I forget exactly what it was. It was like 80, I want to say like 83 3/4, something like that. And then the spring center, so from here, the center, to here is the other measurement that they go with. And these are Dexter axles. The only difference with these compared to what's on it is that the drop, so like this center line to this center line is a 4-inch drop. So the axle sits 4 inches lower than where the actual like wheel is. The trailer was built with 3-inch drops. You cannot get a 3-inch drop, evidently. You can only get a straight or a 4-inch drop. So what that means is that the trailer is going to sit an inch lower. I don't think it's going to have any issues. I think it actually might look kind of cool. I see some of the paint got rubbed off of that there. That seems, I mean, for brand new axles. And I also noticed this is that somehow one of these grease caps has come off. I actually had a good buddy and coworker of mine bring these up to me last night, so I really appreciate that. Might be laying in the back of the truck that he used to bring it up here, so I'm gonna have to check with that. Otherwise I'll have to get a dust cap for that. Possibly I can reuse one of the ones that's on the axle. So this is coming. And everything else is the same. It's the same diameter drum. They're 10-inch drums, and the bolt pattern is the same. So I should be able to reuse my wheels. So it really won't look any different, just that the wheels are going to be just tucked up another inch up under there. So shouldn't make any real difference. I don't think it's going to rub or anything like that. At least not just driving along down the road. So stuff around the yard. This area over here, I got a pressure wash, and where all this oil was leaking out at first. That car, the engine drain plug was leaking. And just kind of give you a little peek right here of what we've been doing. There's the Craftsman GT. That video just came out. We've been using that just to tow my trailer around and cut the grass a little bit, but it's running pretty good. We're doing a patio over here, just kind of extending the kind of like extending the deck, but it's going to be these brick pavers right here. So that's what was in the back of the truck, why I was loaded down so much. So we're just bringing this over a little bit. I put up some lights right there, so we have a little bit more light out here at night. This table, which needs to be cleaned, is going to be going over here. And we've been doing some maintenance to the pond. This thing's actually flowing again, and the water looks nice and clear. And we fixed the leak. I mean, this thing hasn't gone down, like, I haven't even noticed it go down a 1/4 inch in a day, where it used to go down all the way to where I couldn't even run the waterfall, because it was just leaking so bad. It wasn't leaking from here, it was leaking up along here. We pulled back the rocks and it was just leaking over the edges because it wasn't built up enough. So we built it all up, put some more plants in there. They'll kind of, the roots, once they take over, will kind of hold that in place a little bit better. We got some mulch to kind of fill in there. Let me get some more lights. Some of these lights I have are kind of broken. Just try to make it look a little better. Pressure wash the deck, which looks awesome. I don't know if I have any shots of it before, but it was gray as hell. And the new 3000 PSI pressure washer, this guy right here, just ate this stuff up. I mean, it looks like a brand new deck. My brother was doing this yesterday. It probably took him about, I say, 5 hours of pressure washing, but we got it all cleaned up. Pool actually got really full from all the rain we had, so I'm actually pumping some water out of it right now. I gotta vacuum it, let the filter run today. It should clean up the stuff on the top. When it gets too full, the skimmer doesn't work properly because the water level is so high that it can't just like skim. It's like just sucking water from like below the surface. So give it another cleanup and this will be good. Other than that, we're just kind of doing some usual, like, just pulling weeds. Like we planted these this grass. All we did was just kind of break up the grass that was right there and just plant it all up and down here. There's some all up along here. Right here, I just kind of pulled weeds out, and this is just full of this stuff all up around here. So my brother he's kind of like the plant guy, I guess, if you will. So he planted all this stuff. These are already here. All this grass, divided up some of these hostas. So at least there will be actual plants and grass, not just weeds. And then back here, these just got divided up, so that's why they're kind of wilting right now. But I had what are these, peonies, I think. He divided one plant up into 6 and just kind of spaced them around. And we're gonna put some ground cover up along here just to kind of take over this area, like, so it's just not just weeds. I can't really put grass there because I can't really mow it that well because it's just kind of a little bit too sloped. So I was going to put some ground cover up there, just trying to make this whole area look a little bit better. I've been here, this is the 5th summer now, 5th spring, and I've never done anything up here. I've just kind of left it however it came, and it just got really overgrown with weeds. And when you got a pool, I mean, you kind of want it to be nice around the pool. So The only thing I ever did was put these lights in, and I pressure wash the patio usually every year. This needs to be done again this year. It's not too bad, but just dirt and debris around. We gotta clean all this up. But we did. I did pull pretty much all the weeds out of here, and all up and down here. So it looks a lot better than it did. I'm trying to think of what else we've done. That's probably it for right now, other than just going and getting some stuff for the patio yesterday from Home Depot. This is probably only going to be about a quarter of the amount of bricks I need. That's 200 bricks, but I think I need about 700 bricks to do this. It's going to be about 12 by 12, and I'm no expert on this, but we're gonna do something that will be a lot better than just the dirt and mud that was here. I'm gonna put the sand down. I'll smooth it out a little bit. We got a little more like sod or weeds to dig up right there, and these are going to be like the edges of it. You stake these in the ground. That kind of holds them in place so they don't like spread out after you've been doing it for a while. And we'll put some sand down, smooth it out the best we can, put the blocks in place, and go from there. My brother did actually plant a bunch of stuff up here. A lot of these are already here. These big green things needed to trim back. There's these things right here I planted last year. They got a lot bigger, but like all this like little stuff, everything with these little like sticks, he planted all this, so this will kind of fill in all this. Most of the small stuff he just planted, and he just brought all this from his yard. He just divides them, we got a plant and then divide it up and then start new plants. So I haven't had to pay for any of this stuff this year, and this is all stuff that will come back each year. I don't have to replant stuff next year. All this stuff is what do they call it, perennials. So yeah, getting some things done around here. We'll check back after another few days. I'm still off for another like 4 or 5 days, and we'll go from there. John Deere is actually back together and working. I'm still going to have to do the trans rebuild. It's mowing right now, and doing pretty good, except that it still doesn't really pull hills. I kind of just tried everything before. Kind of let that be like the last ditch effort, that I go through everything to make sure that everything is good, and then it looks like I'm going to have to do that. I already ordered the parts for it. I got 2 more bottles of the 5W50, and this is the rebuild kit. I should have just gotten the slightly more expensive kit that came with its own fluid, but I didn't realize that until after I already put the order in. But this is supposed to have everything in it to rebuild the trans. It's got the they call these like the valve blocks. I'm not gonna open it all up right now, but it's like $400. So it's really not worth it to not just buy a new one, because it seems like you get a new one for like 6 or 7, but that's not what my channel is about. I'm not going to just buy a new part when I can rebuild the old one. I don't think it's going to be that terrible. So we'll do that eventually. You can see I have been using it a little bit. Just kind of took it out last night and cut a couple strips with it. It was getting dark, but yeah. So, it's doing pretty good except for the trans issue. Although I did just notice, so I was having an issue where I didn't have the deck on straight. I didn't have it on right, basically, and I couldn't get it level. So I put about 20 PSI in the front tires. I come out this morning and it's flat. So I got another inner tube that I can put in that one. I get, actually, you know what? I probably won't even mess with that because I was going to replace these tires anyway because they're pretty much bald. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm rambling on. I guess we'll see how much of this gets in the video. So, anyway, that's it for now. 21 minutes of rambling on. All right, guys. Later.